Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, I went in for creating a podcast to help you strategize your CSAT 2 days or 3 days before the actual examination. Now, there were certain aspects of that strategy which I had missed out during the podcast. I'm just covering all of those things. I'm a teacher. So if I miss on something, some part of the syllabus, I prefer taking another extra class. So this is another extra class on how to strategize for the CSAT 2 days before the exam. The agenda for today's session is that we will look at what you need to study during the last 2 days. We look at the mental state that you need to maintain during this time period and the negatives which have to be avoided during this time, how to take care of your confidence in case you are feeling low, and how to let out the pressure in case you are feeling tense during this time period. Also, we look at how to fine tune your strategy before the exam, plus what can disturb your strategy during the examination, what can be those kind of things. Lastly, we look at operational issues to consider. So, if I look at the academic aspect, then do not attempt mock tests, simulated exams, or previous year exams. Do not take them in the form of a test of sorts. But the reason is that in case you mess up on any one of them because of some certain reasons, you're going to carry that baggage into your examination hall. So I do want you to study, otherwise you're going to feel guilty. And when you're studying, take care that you balance out your GS preparation in terms of paper one and paper two. You need to devote at least 70 to 80% of the time to GS paper one and about 20% of the time to GS paper two preparation. Also, during your study, if you're looking at questions, then it is always better to look at questions that you've already solved or attempted, questions which you've got an answer ticked, and it should not act like a test for you. You can also go in for checking previous year question papers or PYQs in the same manner. But do not try to pick up an absolutely new topic. Do not try to take a test. There's certain standard things which have to be taken care of. And the most important one is that you need to keep yourself calm during this time period. And the way to keep yourself calm is you need to sleep 7 hours a day regularly. You need to correct your sleep cycle so that you peak up at the time when you take your first exam, which means GS paper 1 at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Also, eat in a very disciplined manner. Have your meals at fixed times only, and do some kind of physical activity. You can walk, you can jog, you can swim, you can do some yoga. It is not yoga, it is yoga. That's a real word. And keep yourself hydrated. It is very hot. There is a wave going on, and we need to take care of ourselves. There's certain negatives which have to be avoided. For example, don't overanalyze your preparation. That is going to make you feel low, and you'll start finding faults with your preparation as such. Take care that you do not pick up a fight with anyone. That's going to mess up with your nerves. Don't judge yourself or others. Even if you judge somebody else, then that is going to give you a low, definitely. Plus, if you're worried about your confidence, then keep in mind that you have been preparing for the CSAT since your birth, some 21 to 35 years ago. So if your present age is 21 years, then 21 years ago when you were born, the moment you opened up your eyes, whatever you started learning, all of that is going to be relevant for your CSAT exam. You learned languages, you learned everything else after your birth, and everything which you learned after your birth is going to help you in your CSAT scores as such. You all have put in your efforts, so this is the time to encash all of that hard work that you've been doing all across these years. Plus, in case you feel the pressure, then you should be talking to your family and your friends. You should take a walk, do some kind of physical activity, and that would ease out the pressure. Sleep properly, that helps. Enjoy some kind of a calming music. Honey Singh or a Badshah may not do that job, although it may do the job for some people. In terms of strategy, remember the strategy which you're going to use on your exam would depend upon your mock test and previous year paper analysis. You must have already taken a lot of mock tests and previous year papers, and based upon the kind of mistakes that you've made there, you would have fine-tuned your strategy to a certain extent. Also, keep an eye upon what your strong and weak areas are. You need to have a lot of self-awareness about what are your strong areas and what are your weak areas. Plus, also take care, even if a particular area is your weak area, there can be super easy questions, sitters as we call them, which can come on your weak area as well. We would have a clear idea about the accuracy that you maintain while attempting questions in various subjects that should guide your strategy. And the paper which you or everyone receives on the day of the exam, 16th of June, that will be the final thing which will decide what strategy you're going to use on the examination day. Plus, strategy to a great extent depends, broad strategy depends upon the profile that you come from, your background. For example, people who come from mathematics background, I will always advise them to start with area of strength, which means they start with basic numeracy, move towards general mental ability, and then look at other areas. For students who are not very good at mathematics, they should always start with the comprehension questions and later on move on towards comprehension and look at the basic numeracy questions. There's some questions which are so absolute sitters, you should definitely attempt those questions. There's a third profile also, people who are good readers and wide readers. Normally, I find such students ending up with good scores on not just the CSAT, but on all the rest of the parts of the examination. In case you belong to this particular category, then you should be starting with comprehension and move to general mental ability and finally towards basic numeracy. Also, there's a particular ABC strategy which we go in for using when you attempt an examination, which is standardized and which is objective in nature with multiple choice questions. The ABC strategy says that when you open up your question paper, you should quickly scan it. Just flip a few pages. Don't look at the whole paper. Don't look at each and every question. Do not read every question. Just flip through the paper to get comfortable. Take a few deep breaths and then look at the first question. In case that question is easy and you think that you can do that question in a short amount of time with a lot of accuracy, then you should do that question there and then. This is called as A. A means abhi, do it now. There may be a certain question which is doable, which you can attempt, but it will take more amount of time, and you're not very sure about accuracy. This is a question type which you possibly can leave for later and put a B on that and come back to this particular question in the second round when you're attempting the question paper. And then there's a third category of question, the C type, which gives you a scare and you're not 100% sure whether you'll be able to do that question and you do not know whether you'll be able to maintain accuracy or not. This is the category for which your mind should say, chhod do, leave it. This examination is not about attempting more and more questions. This examination is about taking the decision to attempt which questions and the decision to reject out which questions. So if you're great at rejecting questions, that is going to help you maintain a higher score. So the ABC strategy says A for Abhi right now, B for Baad mein, which is second round of your attempting questions, and C says chhod do or do it at later stage. Or chhod do means just don't do it at all. There are certain things when you open up the question paper, they can disturb whatever fine-tuned strategy you have. For example, if you look at the CSAT paper any year, there's always a 10 to 15% element of surprise in the examination. This element of surprise is there in the examination to test your nerves. You are somebody who's going to become an IAS officer tomorrow, so that has to be tested today. And if you are a person who's got a lot of mental acuity and you got steel in your head, then the surprise should not shock you. So if there's an element of surprise in the examination, you see weird kind of questions, tell yourself that this is the element of surprise which has been designed for me. I should not get affected by it. I should not get negatively affected by it. But do give those questions a try. Maybe those questions can be done by you and you have a knack for doing those questions. If you see an overall seemingly difficult paper, then remember, this is the same paper which everyone is doing, which means if it is difficult for you, it will be difficult for almost everyone. You just have to prove yourself. You just have to show what potential you've got. And suppose you're looking at the question paper and you come across a straight set of undoable questions, questions whose head or tails you can't understand. In case of such questions, tell yourself, these are the questions that I need to reject, put a C upon them. These are the questions to be left out. These are the questions for which you need to take the decision that you will not attempt these questions. But do not think that if you see a straight set of 6-7 questions which are very difficult, which you just cannot do, those questions should not affect your potential at all. Then there are operational issues to consider. For example, the biggest operational issue is visiting the test center. The test center should not come as a surprise to you, ever. You should visit the test center at least one day in advance. See how much time does it take for you to reach the test center. How far is it located? What would be the best way to reach there on the day of the examination? And it would be even better if you can give this headache to somebody else and somebody else takes care of dropping you to the test center. If you're a resident of the city where your examination is being conducted, let your parents take care of this particular responsibility, or maybe an elder brother or sister who can take care of this particular responsibility. But visiting the test center one day in advance is very important to get a clear idea about how much time it takes. So whatever be the reporting time, the examination starts at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. You have to report there at 9 o'clock. And then there are checkings which happen, but you should reach even before that. If the reporting time is 9 o'clock in the morning, then you have to reach there at say 8:30, just to keep some kind of buffer time. You don't know about the traffic. Second thing is you need to take care that all the credentials are in place, your hall ticket, your ID, etc. There are certain tools that you need to fight this particular battle, your pen, pencil, watch, water bottle. All of these should be in place when you go to the examination center. You need to wear the right kind of clothes. It's very hot, summertime, and you need to be wearing cotton and breathable cotton. That would be better. That will keep you comfortable and cool there. Also, carry water with you, definitely. Drink a lot of water. You'll have to take care of carbohydrates. Your brain works only on carbohydrates. It just requires oxygen and glucose. So the right amount of glucose should be there in your head when you're taking the examination. But if you have too much of glucose in your head, or if you've got too much of glucose available in your bloodstream, then that is something which is going to make you dull at a later stage, and it will make you tetchy at the time when the blood glucose level is high. So you need to eat food which is right before the examination, and for food which has a moderate glycemic value. Bananas are great and available almost everywhere. They are the right food to be taken before you go into the examination hall. So before the GS paper, drink a glass of water and maybe eat a banana. That's going to give you the right amount of glucose in the right amount, and slowly. You will get a break. So your first paper, your GS paper 1 would be conducted from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30, and your GS paper 2 starts at 2 o'clock. So from 11:30 to 2 o'clock, you got about 2.5 hours. During those 2.5 hours, you need to find a place which is comparatively cooler because it's very hot out in the open, and eat something during that time period, drink water, relax mentally. Do not let the baggage of your GS paper 1 get carried till your GS paper 2. I always believe that you should have your eyes on the prize when you are preparing or when you're taking an examination. So the prize for you is LBS NA, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Administrative Academy. And you will get trained here. Tell yourself. This is the IS probationers of 2023 batch, their group photo. Think about you being part of some similar kind of photo another 2 years from now. Visualize yourself on a particular evening sitting with fellow IS probationers on the peak of a mountain near LBS. And remember, your biggest strengths during the examination, before the examination, are all the hard work that you've put in across all of these years. Then, the blessings of your parents, the blessings of your teachers, and the blessings of all your loved ones are with you during this whole battle. And lastly, best of luck. Go win them all. Make all of us proud of you.